All right, brothers, let's face the motherfucking facts. Life is brutal. It's brutal. Literally, the quality of a man you are depends on how much shit you go through. And if you don't go through shit, you're a low quality man. If you're a low quality man, your life is shit. All right? Life is tough. That's just what it is. A lot of conversations with adults this holiday. It's currently a couple days after Thanksgiving. Was at my girl's family, was at my family's, saw people at my competition. And there was a lot of conversation about grinding, school, college, quality of life. And I over and over again had adults say that, like, it's okay to, do it a little bit slower in your 20s. And I disagreed. And they always tell me, you'll understand when you're older, you're going to regret it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? There is no way, right? Let's pattern recognize and look at this logically here, right? There is no way if I spend my 20s, 25, 23, 26, 27, whatever it may be, building myself to financial freedom, ultimate competency, ultimate leadership, right? Evolve myself to the absolute max. And then I have the rest of my life where I'm able to use those abilities, not focus on financial stress, just come from abundance, keep growing, right? Build a strong community around me from a young age, that I will ever regret saying, I wish I relaxed a little more when I was 25. No, there's no way, right? And here's the thing. A lot of these people who are telling me this, I also wouldn't they want their lives. Almost like every single one of them was working a corporate job that they publicly told me they hated. That they've made very clear that they hated. Right? And so I get where they're coming from, thinking that, okay, they're this age, they just, they wish their brain wasn't so preoccupied on other things when they were younger. However, if their brain was preoccupied on becoming an outlier when they were younger, right, they would have had all these years to relax and enjoy the moment. All right. Also, that being said, growth is fun, right? I always look at my life and I see the only times where I feel like everything is just not going well and I don't feel at peace and I'm not happy, or just like if things feel wrong, is when I'm not pushing myself. If I'm in bodybuilding prep, if I'm in MMA prep, if I'm stressed out in a business, right? If I'm doing something new and uncomfortable, I'm always in the right place, even though in the moment it feels uncomfortable, right? I don't feel lost. I only feel lost if I'm not growing. And so there are some people who are just wired to be this way, and people aren't going to understand you. The adults aren't going to understand you. Most kids aren't going to understand you, right? I can't imagine how many people, my old friends see my posts about the grind and staying away from alcohol and staying away from sexual immorality and lust, right? And who are just scoff at it and be like, well, what kind of life is that? And other people understand that shit, right? Like my biggest dream, my fantasy, is I have a coach for content. And the reason I have a coach is because this guy posts 25 stories a day, was posting a YouTube video a day at one point, reels a day, and has like 50 clients and consistently manages all of that. And when I see his stories of 25 a day while he has that entire workload for all those clients and the YouTube and the reels, that is my fantasy. That looks like satisfaction to me. I'm obsessed with being the type of man who is capable of doing something like that, right? Because the type of man who is capable of doing something like that is the type of man who's able to provide for his woman, who's able to make massive impact, who's purpose driven, who lives his life with purpose instead of pleasure. The way I want to be remembered, I don't want to be remembered as a loser. I want to be remembered as someone who fulfilled my fucking potential, right? And the reason I pull my camera out is because there will be so many people yapping in your ear, telling you how to live your 20s, right? And I only want you to listen to the ones who have the exact life you want, or have achieved the exact things you want to achieve in, right? You can take their wisdom with a grain of salt. There's someone who doesn't have the relationship you want, doesn't have the financial freedom you want, doesn't have the career you want, doesn't have the physique, the purpose-drivenness you want, all of it, and they're telling you to follow their advice, right? Take it with a grain of salt. And so over these past almost year of posting content, about 8 months, 6 months now, 6 to 8 months, I've found so much peace in just other people not agreeing with me, right? I'm a vegan. 90% of people dislike vegans, right? I don't give a shit, right? I talk about penis enlargement on my account here with all my friends and all my family sees, right? There was a point where I would have crumbled if I knew anyone was doing it. And people will tell me that's weird. People will tell me that's wrong. People will tell me that's bad for business, right? But if in here, I know this is what fixed me, this is what got me to the point I am, and I can know it can do it for other people, then I'm going to speak it wholeheartedly, right? That being said, you need to have self-awareness. You need to be self-aware of what actually you believe in and if it is helping you or not. If you are going throughout life just living on your survival instinct, which was me for a while, disregarding the opinions of those who have what you want, right? That is just unintelligent. But if you're able to get so clear on what you want and so clear on the path to get there, you need to drown out anyone else's noise. Unless it's someone like a coach, right, who specifically has what you want and knows how to get there. But otherwise, brother, if you know what you want, don't let anyone else tell you what you want. Anyways, I'm here at Vasa Fitness, about to hit a chest day. I just committed to another bodybuilding competition that is in 5 months. I'm gonna go for the pro card, right? And when I say going for the pro card, I just mean I'm gonna show up the best I possibly can, whether I was going for the pro card or not, right? I'm hoping I'm gonna get the pro card, but yeah, boys, life's been good recently, right? Life has been good. I've just been absolutely dialed. I had a couple days off because of Thanksgiving. Everyone else had a couple of days off because of Thanksgiving. Everyone had a couple of days off because of Thanksgiving, which I didn't really enjoy. I enjoyed seeing family, but this is what I enjoy. You know, waking up, doing the cardio, doing the habits, making content, coaching clients, right? Learning, getting to bed early, repeating. That's life. I don't enjoy the hedonism, right? I enjoy this. And I enjoy it because my brain has associated it with fulfillment. That's the thing. Right, boys? Life will never be easy to any extent. But what it can be if you do it right is fulfilling. That is the goal, boys. Fulfillment. And what does fulfillment mean? I wonder what the definition would say, but I would say fulfillment means you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Right? You feel like you're fulfilling some sort of purpose. You personally are where you need to be. Right? It's a mix of peace and fulfillment. But that is what you should be going for. Right? Not easy. Because if you go for easy, you're going to get a big slap in the face and realize it's not possible, brother. Love y'all.